for its second week, and a total of $80 million that movie's made now at the box office. And Timber by Pitbull and Kesha with their second week at number one also. So same movies and or same movie and music as last week, but we do have a new Florida Man story. So this as I mentioned, this show was released January 21st, 2014. This story from January 20th, 2014. A Florida man accused of stealing a total of 850 pairs of panties from Victoria's Secret is behind bars. Daniel Espinoza, 18, allegedly stole more than $15,000 worth of stock from Victoria's Secret on 3 separate occasions. The thefts, which also involved a second suspect, took place at the Victoria's Secret store at the Sawgrass Mills Mall in South Florida. So apparently this guy went back there multiple times. In November of 2013, he stole 300 pieces of Dream Angels women's underwear. And on another date in November 2013, also stole another 175 pairs of women's underwear worth over $2,500. And so basically what he would do is he would just walk in with shopping bags and just grab handfuls of underwear out of the big round, things that they had. I don't know if they still sell their underwear this way, but they had the big round tables with just piles of underwear on them.
Okay.
By size. And he would just go in and just grab handfuls and throw them in the bag. And so basically what I understand is what would happen is, and they don't go into this in the article, but it was apparently a very big, it might still actually be a big thing, but you sell them at like swap meets and on eBay and Etsy and stuff like that. For, a discount. You just fence them right there on the internet or fence them at a swap meet and turn around, and apparently they're always in demand, and you can make some good money when you're just stealing them, right? I mean, there's this third event that he did 375 pairs of underwear worth more than $5,000, and that's when he got caught. So pretty crazy.
You know what the solution to that is?
No. What is the solution to that?
Shotguns. Again.
Shotguns at Victoria's Secret.
Well, there should be a way that you should be able to protect, well, not your property, but, at a certain point, most store employees, they don't care. What do they care? Right.
Right. But, well, that's the thing, right? Like this story talks about how this loss prevention employee, employee who works in loss prevention, watched as they put more than $5,400 of underwear in the bag and left the store. She went after Espinoza and his accomplice, confronting them in a mall common area. Police said they pushed her to the ground, dropped the stolen merchandise, and took off. So, you're not incentivized as a loss prevention person to get involved because you're going to get assaulted.
Yeah. But if you're a convenience store guy,
sure, if you run a liquor store,
and it's your family's business, and you go in there, and have you seen that YouTube or TikTok of there's something going on in a Wawa, those Wawa, and the there's looting and it's total chaos in the background, and then the lady is ordering at the sandwich counter, and the clerk who's filming. Is filming this whole thing in the background, and then the girl's so are you gonna make my sandwich? It's think of Frank Drebin going, oh, nothing to see
here while the fireworks factory is exploding behind him.
It's crazy.
So absolutely. I haven't seen that video, but that's fantastic. I just love that it's for her it's such a just everyday thing. She's like, look, I got to get back to work. Are you going to make my sandwich or not?
Yeah.
I don't really care about what these kids are doing. I don't care if these end oil people or whatever are gluing themselves to, Monets or whatever.
It's crazy, man. The whole thing's going crazy. Kanye's ended up being hated by the Jews more than Boyd or
Boyd. I think Kanye might mean it too, unlike Boyd, I think. Look, I've
really
been a Kanye defender for a long time.
Yeah, I think we both have because
I can't
because he doesn't like black people. George Bush doesn't like black people.
No, yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that gave him a pass for the future. But I guess that pass kind of ran out now.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. I mean, he's a guy who's always been able to like come back. So,
and if there's any industry that he can come back in, music and fashion are the ones, right? I mean, they're the ones that are more tolerant of that sort of nonsense. I will say this, like I may have like a number of Yeezys that I've purchased over the years.
What, are you gonna burn them?
Well, no. I mean, I'm just hoping they don't become like a Nazi thing. Like that's my.
You'll make more money.
No, well, yeah, and sell them to Nazis. That's not what I want to do. That's, well, definitely put an ad on Facebook Marketplace that way I can go meet them in person.
No, put it on what's the Nazi site? Like Stormfront or whatever.
Stormfront, right?
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, no. I'm really hoping because like I can deal with, you can separate the art from the artist sort of thing right up until the art becomes Nazi memorabilia. And then it's like, okay, I guess I can't wear my Yeezys anymore.
How many pairs do you have? Are you like Imelda Marcos?
Oh my God. Well, I'm not Imelda Marcos, but I may have 20 pairs of Yeezys.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I know.
Why? That's a lot. Are they all the same pair?
They're
like
not.
Brown?
So I like the one particular, there's a particular style that I like, the 350. And I have like 12 of those. And then I have like a few of the other kind of styles, the 700s and the 380s. I have a few of each of those, but most of them are the 350s. I love them. They're little moccasin like things. You just slip them on, slip them off. They're, great colors and they're super comfortable. They wear out fast, but I have enough of them that I don't wear them that often. So, So if you really hoping they don't become a Nazi signifier.
Pretty soon, everything is going to be a Nazi signifier. If you think about it. That window or whatever, that zone of acceptable whatever or acceptable views gets smaller and smaller.
Well, isn't I don't know. I don't want to get too far down this rabbit hole because this is a dangerous one to be going down. But isn't like supposedly the okay sign? Remember when we were kids? Like if you gave somebody the okay sign, you got two. You had to like they mark an X on your arm and then punch you twice. Do you remember that game?
I don't remember that.
Okay. But you know what I mean when I say the okay sign, right? The closed circle with the three fingers up. Yeah. Yeah. And so when I was a kid, you'd play a game where if you saw that, like if you'd do that, you'd put that on like your leg or on your shoulder or whatever. And if you caught your buddy looking at it, you draw an X on their arm with your finger and then you punch them twice in the arm and then you had to wipe off the X. There was a bunch of rules, right? But I understand from what I understand or what I've seen that symbol now is like a white supremacy thing. I don't know.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. Like people do that in photos and apparently they're Nazis or white supremacists. I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows? Anything can be construed as a,
that's true.
Maybe it was like it started as like a goof or something like that, because people like, I don't know, they'll take out things out of context all the time or it'll blow up, like maybe like a tweet that blows up unexpectedly. Maybe that's the thing. Or
I think, you know what I think it is? Here's what I think it should be. If a Nazi does it, it's a Nazi thing. That's if it's not a Nazi doing it, then maybe it's not a Nazi thing.
But what if everybody is a Nazi?
Well, that could actually be the case. Am I a secret Nazi?
I don't know. Are you?
I don't know.
Well, I have a secret committee to look into that.
Good. Perfect. Yes, exactly. The House Un-American Activities Committee, we'll call it. Now now that we're through that.
Yeah. God, do we have any listeners left? Everybody's tuned up.
Everybody has well, actually, no, they just fast forwarded to this point. So here's a good marker. If you're fast forwarding through our Nazi discussion, you're clear right here. We're going to start talking about the show. So we've got a lot going on in this episode, not nearly as much as in our prior episodes, but a few things. So, Boyd, episode picks up right where last week's left off. So if you remember, last week's ended with the shipment getting hijacked. The heroin shipment got hijacked. Boyd and Carl and Jimmy were there to pick it up, and all they found were dead bodies and abandoned cars. And they started cleaning that up. Boyd calls Wynn, because as we pointed out at the end of the last episode, if the cops run across that, you end up with a absolute, police blue line war zone in Harlan County until they find out who did it. So Boyd calls to make sure that it's not Wynn, and Wynn takes umbrage with his suggestion that it might be. And between them, they determine, okay, so only your guys, Boyd's guys, and the dealers knew that the shipment was going down tonight. So we got to find out who sold us out. And Boyd thinks he might have some way of figuring that out. And he's going to call Wynn back and let him know.
I like how I was just talking about Naked Gun and that thing in the background, and as Boyd is walking, they're burying the bodies in the background.
Pushing that body.
Yeah. It was a big boy too.
It was.
That guy's like 300
fat
pounds.
Dude. Yeah, they're like rolling him into a shallow grave. That is a funny little kind of background moment, right? You always look for like Tim to be doing funny stuff in the background, but you never
totally
at the crime scene cleanup crew. So then we see Raylan, and Raylan and Alison are engaged in a little bit of below the waist action in Monroe's house when Art calls Raylan to let him know that Monroe's going to be released tomorrow and may be interested in speaking to Raylan. Since Raylan is living in his house and driving his car and drinking his wine. Yeah, I could imagine Monroe's not super pleased with him, but he's not entitled to get his stuff back. So his forfeiture order maintains, even though he's out on his own, he's going to get out on his own recognizance, pending his trial. And apparently the case is falling apart. So, so while Raylan's on the phone with Art, Alison retires upstairs, dropping her dress before she goes, to roll a J. Much to Raylan's chagrin, he reminds her that he's a United States Marshal, federal agent, if you will, and that he's not allowed to smoke pot. And she's like, "I'm just taking the edge off. What if I have a prescription?" every
I have glaucoma.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so Raylan lets her take a couple hits off the joint and get nice and lubricated, and then takes his shirt off and starts climbing on top of her. And the car alarm goes off in the driveway, and Raylan shuts it off, and then it goes off again. So Raylan goes out and finds there's a man sitting on the hood of the car, waiting for him when he gets outside. And I have a clip of that conversation.
The downside of these high-end alarms with those shock sensors, neighborhood punks decide they want to have fun with you. All they got to do is run up and smack the bumper.
When I was a kid, we just ring a guy's doorbell, run like hell.
Ding dong ditch.
It ended for me the day Mo Sawyer came to his door with a scatter gun.
Some guys just can't take a joke.
I was about to outgrow it anyway. Kind of thing you drop as soon as you discover girls. Yet here you are, all grown up, still dinging and donging, don't have the sense to ditch.
I never said I was the one to set your car going.
It's not my car.
Who's it belong to then?
Man, this house belongs to. Same one who sent you here.
Now, why on earth would anybody send little old me?
Scare me to death, I suppose. Just so Everything's out in the open.
Less chance somebody makes a mistake that way. You're a cop, huh? KSP?
Still pretending like you don't know. Miss Monroe didn't tell you.
So what is this place? Somewhere you just bring girls and bang them?
Mind if I give you some advice?
You got